Now to stock market review. At the end of the day's trading session, MTN Nigeria PLC's share price appreciated by 5.68% to close at 270 naira per share, taking the market capitalization from 5 naira 20 kobo from 5.2 trillion naira to 5.5 trillion naira. This comes after MTN released a notice that the company has commenced operations of its fintech subsidiary, Momo Payment Service Bank, across the country, having received full approval by the Apex Bank, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. MTN Nigeria PLC recorded gains in share price, which can be attributed to investors' positive sentiments, which triggered buy interest in the shares of the company, supporting a gain of 295 billion naira in market capitalization at the close of trading activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The shares of the quoted telecom giant advanced from 255 naira 50 kobo per share at the start of the trading day to 270 naira per share, the highest price traded at the close of the market, to represent a gain of 5.68%, which in monetary terms is 14 naira 50 kobo. And very quickly, let's look at the market trading summary. For the ASI, we had 53,275.49. And then for the number of deals, we had 5,184. For the volume, 274.56 million. And the value was 8.45 billion naira. The market capitalization was 28.72 trillion naira. And a quick look at the top gainers. The market yesterday, we start with Transcorp Hotel. It last closed at 5 naira 36 kobo, but with 9.89% change. It closed yesterday at 5 naira 89 kobo. For Better Glass, it last closed at 57 naira, but with 9.74% change, we have it closing yesterday at 62 naira 55 kobo. For McNichols, we had it at 1 naira 77 kobo, but with 9.60% change, we had it closed yesterday at 1 naira 94 kobo. For Veritas Capital, it's closed at 21 kobo. That was the last close, but with 9.52% increase, we had it close yesterday at 23 kobo. For Multiverse, it was 22 kobo, but with 9.09% increase, we have it closed yesterday. We had it closed yesterday at 24 kobo. So the top 5 decliners now for yesterday at the market. For corn oil, it last closed at 31 naira 50 kobo, but with minus 10% change. It closed yesterday at 28 naira 35 kobo. Itana was 7 naira 30 kobo before it had the minus 9.59% change, which brought it yesterday to 6 naira 60 kobo. Prestige was 44 kobo, but with minus 9.09% change. It closed yesterday at 40 kobo. For Charms, it was 24 kobo, but with minus 8.33% change. It closed yesterday at 22 kobo. And then we end that particular one with Royal X, and then we had it at 1 naira 36 kobo, but with minus 7.35% change. It closed yesterday at 1 naira 26 kobo. Well, joining me now is Ambrose Omodio, the Chief Research Officer of Invest Data Consulting Limited, and we'll be looking at the numbers. We'll try to make sense of what happened at the market yesterday, and of course, most likely throughout the week. Good to have you on board.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
All right, you had the numbers, and let me have your reaction first before I ask you questions.
Actually, it's a good rebound yesterday for the market for me, because especially this market will be in a kind of oscillating trend, which we saw that for three past days, markets have been in red. Yesterday, rebounding in green and powerfully, gaining about almost 544.2 points. That means about 1.05 for a day. And it's good. And as we just mentioned, we kudos to MTN for rebounding. Markets now becoming more intelligent. As you are seeing a factor that will drive MTN operating or cash flow, they are already looking at how to position ahead of those things reflecting on their bottom line. You can see that the telecom companies are where investors are looking. Telecom and agriculture, for me, it's a good one. That means our investors are becoming really savvy in terms of knowledge to know where to be at the right time. For me, MTN is a good stock, and it's a good thing that it's moving up for investors. People that entered this stock around September last year, 168 at 270, that made almost 100 naira. That is a good business for them in less than just 6 months. For me, kudos to MTN.
All right. Now, the Nigerian equities market holds downtrend to close positive at the end of yesterday's trading session, as the SI jumped by plus 1.05%, and that represents 298.75 billion naira gain. Now, the total volume traded declined by 55.14%. That was at 274.5 million units of shares. What do you think is responsible for this?
You know, in equity investment, the what called tech analysis, it gives you an insight how the the behavioral pattern of investor in the market at that particular day, or kind of a volume you are looking at, or kind of a period you are looking at. For you seeing a decline in volume, it tells you that most investors are not ready to sell at this point. For the past 3 days, they were seeing volume increasing and market was coming down, but seeing a reversal and there's no volume. I mean, people are waiting on the defense or on the line to see what will be the next action. And it's a good sign that if you look at what we call market sentiment, you see that about 99% buy position against 1% sell position as at yesterday. It says that we are seeing more people looking the way of what, of good stuff that has potential to rally. That's what we saw yesterday. But for me, investors should not be carried away with just rebound. Just play with your game, because markets are just broken 2007 highs. It tells you that market is already on a move. But don't be carried away with the trend. Know the time to take profit. For I tell you, for the last 3 days, many people are already shaking because market is coming down. If you are taking profit at the right time, even when market is correcting, you don't need to panic, but create an opportunity for you to buy at a lower price again.
All right, talking about the week, I'm sure you've even said something in this line. It was a mixed market, but yet the index has crossed the 53,000 mark again, as year-to-date performance is at record high of 24.72%. Well, this is an impressive record in a decade.
Yeah.
What do you think is driving this Nigerian market?
No, I would say about 6 or 5 highly capitalized stocks. Whenever they move, market respond to it. But it's good that anywhere in the world, there's always what we call the leaders in terms of price. If you look at mature market like US, before now, it's that tech companies that have been moving their market. Down here now, you can see that the telecoms and agriculture sector are the one moving our market now, and the industrial goods are now moving our market. For me, it's a good thing for us. But since we know the sector that are really moving the market, also look at the economy. You know, we're expecting our GDP to come for first quarter. Before now, which sector is the one driving the GDP of the nation? Those sectors also should tell you that something is happening in that sector. That is where you should also be positioning. That is why, as you know, investors are looking ahead to see the Q2 number and also the outcome of MPC meeting by next week. Trying to kind of what we do call a portfolio rotation, or so that to look at a sector and stock to be, so that they can now prepare ahead of the Q2 number. But definitely all eyes are on outcome of MPC meeting Monday, Tuesday next week. That will also determine where the market will move from. Is it to continue this uptrend, or we'll see a pullback at the end of it? Let's wait to see MPC meeting outcome. That was a good one. All we're looking at.
All right, all along we've been talking about the week, but now let's narrow this down to Thursday's performance. Transcorp was the most traded stock by volume, and that was with 48.38 million units. And then MTN was the most traded stock by value, which is put at 5.49 billion naira. I'm sure you've said a lot about this already, but exactly, because you said a lot. But of course, this is Transcorp now coming into the picture. Yeah, so tell us more about this.
The Transcorp hotel, for me, the hospitality are coming up gradually in terms of activities after COVID-19, kind of disruption and other stuff. But for me, what I've seen that Transcorp hotel in Nigeria is really doing well. They will spread their tentacle beyond Abuja to Lagos, Port Harcourt, Calabar, so that these businesses are really a good business for them. And also, don't forget that investors always capture that there's always a kind of period where you see companies producing a good number. This year being pre-election year, I'm telling you that as we speak now, many delegates have already moved down to Abuja for political and other stuff. And from now till 2023, we expect that Transport Hotel will be where the big politicians will be lodging. There's another good kind of business for them. And investors always think that, we're expecting the second quarter. Let's start position ahead of this company. So
what are you saying to investors now?
They know what I'm saying. Because I'm telling you, for now, 2023 political activities there, and also that will be a better business that for them, the time to apply, because Abuja and Transcorp are one. Because all the big men, even for the whites that are landing in Nigeria, they want to go to Hilton Hotel. And for me, it's a good business for, and also they have it in Calabar, in Lagos, all these high brand where there's businesses. For me, it's a good business, but because of this also aviation fuel problem, but now that have been solved in the next 3 months, according to National Assembly, that they mandated what's they call NNPC to supply flight gas for the airlines in Nigeria. That means from now till the next 3 months, we're expecting business. And also being pre-election year, government wants to continue because they want the election to come, and all those politicians will be moving from. They can't use road. As I speak now, most big politicians they can't use road. That means that is why
you don't even have to be a politician now.
No, I mean that they are the ones that their eyes on because they are the ones who spend. Because me and you now to fly to Lagos, Abuja, 100,000 naira, you fit twice. But they, because they know how the money comes, they can even if they can stay in hotel for just a day, 200,000 naira, and that is why Hilton Hotel is smiling there because a room now to speak is about 240,000. It's a good business for them.
I think we should move on to the next. You've said a whole lot already. All right, looking at the gainers list, we had Transcorp Hotel sustaining its bullish run for the second day running, and then we have for the list of gainers, we had Conoil topping the list of losers. Tell us more about this. What's the direction for these stocks? No,
for the oil sector, for me, in the next 2 years, that sector will remain active because we have already having a positive fundamental news for that industry. As far crude oil price remain above $100, those business have come to stay. But looking back here, because of the kind of the nature of the product, those are into local marketing of the oil. They are still in business because it's a high demand. If there's no light, you need to buy fuel. For me, I see a business for them. For me, Conoil pulling back is just an opportunity for people to buy because if you look at their first quarter result, there's improvement in their result. Tells that this company coming back so to buy at a cheaper price. For me, it's a sector that one should look at, especially when it comes to Owando, Seplat, Total, Conoil. These are stocks to look at because I see potential, and Eternal Oil because their result is looking up. We have not seen that of is it called the former Fort Oil or Adobe. We have not seen the result to know where they are going, but for these ones we have seen the result, we know where they are heading from here.
All right, finally, I'll say the sectoral performance was broadly positive as 8 NGX sector indices closed upward, but then 7 closed downward and 3 other closed flat. Right. The NGX Premium Index topped with plus 2.32% gain as against NGX Insurance Index, which dipped by minus 1.33%. Now, we need a technical analysis of this. Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the sectoral performance, I'll tell you that for those active ones, the 5 sector that we have the index, it's only the industrial goods were up yesterday. That was up yesterday. Others were down. But tell you that still, if you look at the market, the stock that gained yesterday, it goes across both banking. We saw the life of Stanbic IBTC gaining, Access gaining yesterday. We saw life of First Bank Holding gaining. Saw the life of Sterling Bank. If you also move to the industrial, you saw the life of WAPCO gaining. You move to healthcare, you saw the life of me and Baker and GSK gaining. That means it was run the whole. Almost the whole sector, but few were down because of also high cap in that sector or the leaders in that sector in terms of price loss. That's why you saw kind of pullback. But for me, it's a good market. That's why it's a missed one. But what matters today that we expect that the result of Prescott that came to the market yesterday should also ginger the market up because that result was beyond expectation. That is a quite fantastic number. You can see a company moving from low of almost 5 billion naira to 19 billion naira under 1 year. It tells you that there's something happening in the company. Every investor in the market wants to partake in that kind of company to share from the profit they are making. For me, market will react to that result this morning. That will also be a fuel for the market today. All
right, so for today, what are the stocks we should watch out for? Let's close on that note.
No, actually, I don't give talk to world, but I would advise them that for you, look at the sector that I said are the one driving the economy and at the same time driving the index.
You mind saying those sectors again? Agriculture?
Communication.
Hospitality?
Communication, hospitality, you are right, and industrial.
Okay, that's fine. Special thanks to you for coming on the show, Mr.
Thanks for having me.
CRO Invest Data. Thank you so much.
Thanks.